Hello?
Waffle to me. Welcome to the Waffle Soup podcast. This is pub chat for those who love shite-talk. Drink it up as we waffle about all sorts of random crap in a delicious soupy broth of juvenile bollocks. Grab a drink, get settled, and let's talk rhubarb. Waffle Soup is served.
Hello. Welcome to episode 1 of the Waffle Soup podcast. We're your hosts, Baz and Connal. And we're here to fill that shite-talk void while the pubs remain closed. This is pub chat for those who miss talking shite. We're going to waffle about all sorts of random crap in a delicious soupy broth of juvenile bollocks. So grab a drink, get settled, and let's talk rhubarb. Welcome to Waffle Soup. So Connal, before we get started, let us talk about how we got here.
Well, I got a lift.
Okay, that's a good start. I'm just going to take my glass off so I can't see what you actually look like. We both recently joined the 40 club. But most lads at our age, I'd say, would probably go into a midlife crisis and maybe buy a Ferrari.
Or a motorbike.
Yeah, I would have to sign up. That's been sitting in your shed for how long?
Listen, it's a summer, winter project now.
Okay. But we didn't go with the Ferrari. We decided to just do a podcast.
That's how we roll.
Because it's a lot cheaper, and otherwise we just look like idiots.
Well, speak for yourself.
Anyway, it's an excuse to meet up while the pubs are closed, and our wives, we can just tell them we're working. So
I'm on a really important job at the moment.
Well, look, let's just hope people like listening to our waffle as much as we like spouting it.
So it'll only be me and you listening to it pretty much.
Isn't it? So this, not only is this the first Waffle Soup podcast, it's probably going to be the last.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll see how it goes. First off, what are you drinking?
Something that you just handed me and I walked in the door.
Something I'm trying to get rid of.
Sorry. Okay, so it's Wicklow Brewery Vice wheat beer. I actually like white beer, so it's
I can't stand it. So it's disgusting, and it's also out of date, I think. So you're gonna have the shits.
Happy
not too bad.
March 2021. Nice.
I mean,
and drink responsibly, and not if you're pregnant.
I
didn't do any tests today, but
well,
I actually like wheat beer. Though. Yeah? It's like wheat malt, barley malt. So it's everything in there. Plenty of malts.
Good.
Doesn't really tell you. It just says like putting Red Cross on the map. It says true laughter and great taste.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean?
What I mean, it's like everything else that puts Red Cross on the map, really, isn't it?
So it's got to say it's Wicklow Vice or Vice.
Vice.
Irish wheat beer, refreshing German style wheat beer. Irish wheat beer, refreshing German style beer. Okay. So the subtle banana and clove aroma.
Yeah, well.
Followed by a honey aftertaste. Okay, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
It tastes nice. I actually think it's alright.
Yeah, well, knock yourself out. There's 2 or 3 bottles that you can take home with you.
I don't smell any bananas. But then again, it's gone off since March.
Well, I'm drinking something called Mbongo.
They drink it in the Congo?
Well, that's pretty much why I saw it in the shop and I said, I want that. I thought it might be... It just reminded me of better times when, you could get away with horrible stuff in ads and people wouldn't even notice. Mbongo, they drink it in the Congo. I actually had to take down... I had to look up the song because I couldn't remember.
It's way down deep in the middle of the jungle.
I'll see how close you got now. Hang on a second. Go on.
Way down deep in the middle of the jungle.
No, you're already wrong.
Am I already doing something like the monkey, the rhino, the hippo, the rhino, the monkey, and the something? They made a drink and they called it Mbongo. They drink it in the Congo.
Close, but no, Mbongo. It was way down deep in the middle of the Congo. A hippo took an apricot, a guava, and a mango. He stuck it in. He stuck it with the others, and he danced a dainty tango.
Nice.
The rhino said, "I know. We'll call it Mbongo. Mbongo. Drink it in the Congo."
I knew there was a rhino in there.
Yeah, it was more the way it was said, and there was all sorts of wrong. Not to mention, it was probably really full of sugar and really bad for you. But I mean,
perfect to bring to school in a little big.
It was everything classic about the 80s, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's 80s style stuff, but they still sell it in America. Like I was over there a while ago, and I was walking by a bus stop. Not that you see many bus stops over there, But like, there was a whole family there, and they had their, what they call over there, juice box.
Oh, yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
the kids are like, oh, Mom, can we have a juice box? And then they all, like, the whole family are just sitting there, like, drinking out of these little straws, and they're only about that size. But you're looking at them going like, oh my God, they look like a pack of kids in, like, you know, back in the 80s sitting in a play yard. But adults and all drink their juice box. Like, I wonder if they can get beer once.
No, there's one.
That's what I'm thinking,
Sure,
yeah.
okay.
Well, let's delete
won't
that
publish
now,
that
yeah,
one, But in America, getting a bus is real pauper stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Do you know what they do have, which is really fucking handy? So, they have this, like, a thing that pulls out at the back that you put your bike on. And,
Alright.
like, all the buses over there seem to have it. Like, literally
How
just a
many fit
little
on?
rack. Like, sometimes they have, like, 5 or 6 bikes sitting on the back of them, like, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't
you-
think that'll catch on Dublin bus.
just- well, if-
'cause
you're-
they'll be gone by the time you get to your destination.
But they'd be not only gone because either the bus will drive away with your with your bike before you got in, because they don't even stop over here for 2 seconds to
Yeah,
let
true.
you on. Like, that's one thing that actually really annoys me, is like, I drive a car, you drive a car and all, and you drive it kind of smooth enough, and you, like, you know, when you're coming to a traffic lights not to slow down, and like in any job like I've ever done where I'm controlling a vehicle, it's all about controlling it smoothly and all. But it's like as if they try to jam on the brakes as quick as they can when they get somewhere.
Yeah.
Or they take off as quick as they can as well. Like, I got on one day, I had like my little scooter thing with me, like, you know. The whole way, I literally looked like I was absolutely off my beam because he started before I could even like grab onto a bar, and then I didn't want to drop or hit anyone with the scooter. So like, I'm bouncing off all the bars and chairs, and I'm trying to hang on to something, and I could see people on the bus just breaking their heart laughing, like, but at the same time, like, oh fucking hell. But then I get to the top of the hill, like, and then he nearly drives off before I'm out of the bloody yoke, and I was like, going, like, if you'd done that in your car with someone, they'd never get in the car with you again. But this person's employed to drive, like, you know.
On to the next slice of pie. Any crack with you?
You know, so basically, I'll tell it now. But before I start, there's a few little. I have to kind of enter it a certain way because. So starting out, yeah. For my job, I have to go get a medical every year, and basically, so I have a 6-year-old daughter. So let's put that in there. We'll get that done. You know. So anyway, I went in from a medical, and I completely mess up because I have to go to the Mater private. So I didn't know there was 2 of them. There's probably could be 3, 4, 5 of them, but I'm so lazy. I was literally go to the one that I know, and that's the one in Eccles Street.
Yeah.
So I arrive in there and I have to do all the tests and stuff like that. Not the tests, the screenings. So I go through there, and then when I get to the place where it used to be, they were like going, oh, the particular thing you're looking for is not here anymore. It's over in Clare Hall. So I was like, oh, you're joking me. So I like go to the other place anyway. So I completely like flustered and messing up and all that sort of thing. And long story short, I fill out all my paperwork, and they go on in and do your ECG. So I go in and go into the nurse in there, and she goes, oh, so you're gonna have to take your top off for this, like, you know. And like, so I'm obviously trying to be real cool and throw in a few jokes and that. So I'm like, oh, well, you'll have to allow them carrying a little bit of holiday weight, like, you know. So like, then I pull off my top. And something comes flying out of my top and lands on our desk, like, you know. So I'm like, going like, what the fuck's that? I look over and a pair of fucking knickers. Like, so it was a woolly kind of top, and like this pair of knickers, obviously it got stuck in it through the tumble dryer. But I look over, like, and I see like a little tiny fucking pair of knickers, and I'm like, oh fuck. So she hasn't seen it, so I reach across real quick and I just grabbed them and stuffed them in my pocket. But then she's seen me do that, so she turns around and she goes, oh, what was that? And I was there going like, oh, nothing, just the. And then I think it's straight away when I'm thinking, fuck, she thinks I've just nicked something off her desk. So it's in like a nurse's place, there's stethoscopes and syringes and stuff. So then I was like, oh no, something fell out of my top, it landed on your desk. I need to just grab that. I just took it, like, you know. And she's like, oh, what was it? And I'm like, going, oh, balls. How do I say this? So they're still kind of just peeping out of the side of my pocket, and I kind of just pull them out a little bit and just go, oh, just a pair of knickers, like, you know. And then she goes like, you got knickers in your pocket? And I'm like, no, they're 6-year-old's knickers. She goes, you've got a 6-year-old's knickers in your pocket? I'm like, no, oh yeah, please.
Big up, Stu.
Yeah. And then I was like, no, my daughter, like, she's 6, they're her knickers, they were in my top, and they fell out on your desk when I took my top off that was stuck inside them. And then I'm trying to tell her, I found a sock in there earlier today and all, like, you know, before I left. And she's like, oh, so she got the funny side of it. So she lies me down to do my ECG, all that sort of thing. Had to do it twice on my heart rate stuff twice because like I couldn't relax, and she keeps saying, just relax there a bit, and I'm like, yeah, you try and relax. But on the way out then as well, like, I'm getting dressed and I put on my jumper, But before I put the jumper on, like I look in, I'm trying to be funny, like, you know, and I'm there like, better check here in case there's any new knickers in there, like, you know. And then as soon as I left my mouth, she kind of looks at me, and I'm like, oh shit. She now thinks that I'm after saying to her, like, checking to make sure she didn't put her knickers in there, like, you know. So I'm like, oh, this is the most embarrassing conversation I've ever had in my life. So that stage, I just want to get out of there. And I keep on messing up, like, you know. She had to call me back to take my file and give that into the doctor. I get into the doctor, but she goes in before me, and like she comes out and her face is red and there's tears coming out of her eyes, and she's there like, what, into the doctor? And then the doctor's like laughing as well, and I'm there going like, oh Jesus. But I go out to the reception and like have to hand my file into reception. Of course she's already told her as well, because she can't even look me in the face, like, you know. And what she says actually, oh, hopefully now when all this is over, it'll be a bit normal, be able to see people's faces and stuff like that again. And I was like, well, the way my face feels right now, I'm glad no one can see it. So she starts laughing, and she's like going, oh my god, it's so funny, it's so unprofessional, like, you know. And I'm going like, that's great. So I head off out, and then there's a revolving door. So like they had, like, when I was coming in the doors, there's like a door which says, like, you know, entrance only. Yeah. And then there's a revolving door thing, so obviously it's the exit. So I go into it and I push it, and it moves about 2 foot and it stops. And there's a big A4 sheet on it saying, like, door broken, please use the other door. And when I go to push it back, it won't move. So I'm like, oh no. So I'm trying to squeeze out then the little bit of gap that's left so I can go out the door, and I look over. And there's like the doctor, the receptionist, and the ECG one, and they're all looking at me, breaking their heart, laughing. And I'm there going like, oh my god, can this day get any worse? Like, so I literally just ran. I just got into my car, and I couldn't even calm down. I could just feel like I was burning the whole way home. I didn't even listen to the radio on the way home. I was just there going like, oh my god, I want to just get sick. Like, but I was like, yeah. So basically, if there's any crack, that's it, really, for me. Like, it doesn't get much worse than that.
I don't think anyone can top that. Alright, let's move on. Okay, next up we have a little segment that we're going to introduce every week. We'd love your feedback, so please comment in the YouTube comments below, or if you're listening, please email us at contactwafflesoup@gmail.com. We are going to do a bit of retro motion, we're calling it. It's a bit of a nostalgic trip down memory lane on a particular subject each week, or each episode. So this episode, to kick things off, we're just going to play it pretty safe and simple and go with TV shows. So not cartoons, because that's a whole different subject. We will cover that, so please stay tuned for that. But for now, TV shows from our youth and through the ages as we grew up, and you know, from when we were young to when we were drinking to, you know, that kind of thing. So let's kick it off. Colin, what have we got for us?
Yeah, well, so basically, just to break it down a little bit more as well, we're kind of breaking everything down into segment sections and stuff like that, of things to talk about, just so, you know, like things that people want to hear about, or things we think people want to hear about, which usually means they don't want to hear about, but they're going to hear about.
Yeah.
So like we came up with like nostalgia and stuff like that. So as Baz said, they're TV shows. So like again, this is the big part. If you are listening or watching, like, we're not listeningist or sightist in this show, like, you know, we cover for everyone. Yeah. But anyway, so if you're listening, like, we'd love to get your feedback, but also any of your memories or things that you thought about, like, growing up as kids, watching on TV, like the likes of Biker Grove. More so funny things that happened, or things that were so out there, like, you know, because the idea of this is pub chat, like, where you're gonna go, do you remember this? But you remember how fucking you know, how like your man was clearly a kiddie fiddler, like, that kind of way, like, you know, they're the better ones, like, they're the ones we want to talk about. So like,
it won't be the first time we'll be talking about how the fuck did they get away with that in the 80s?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just a common theme.
Yeah,
that's where we are from. Before you get into this, can I ask what your earliest TV show memory is?
Well, I think everyone remembers Bosco, because and 40 Coats and not even 40 Coats. I don't know if I remember 40 Coats as much. I just remember the name 40 Coats, but I always remember Pat's Chat.
Yes,
and there was like Padjo's Junk Box, you know, that kind of stuff, Irish one.
Wagon and all that
That's
kind
it,
of
but then when you like listen to, because I met your man one day, Pat's Chat, like, you know, and he was selling like books on Grafton Street and all, and like he was the top man on the TV back then. It just goes to show that, like, you know, there obviously wasn't much money in it back then, or that like people.
He was the Tubbs of the 80s.
Yeah. This is it. Like, you know what I mean? Because like,
Probably, I wouldn't imagine he's on the same wage as Ryan Tuberty though.
but that's me. He wouldn't be selling them on. He wouldn't be selling books on Grafton Street.
Fast forward 20 years from now, Ryan Tuberty will be selling books on the ground in town,
and no one will be buying them.
Yeah, well, I certainly won't anyway.
But that's what I'm saying, like, because when I was thinking back, like, you know, Bosco, I remember watching Bosco in black and white. We used to have an old black and white TV on the breakfast counter, like, you know, my mum would turn it on. And my mum always tells stories, like, you know, going, like, this, it was only one channel, like, really, that you could watch, the kids would watch back then. So we'd be small and we'd be sitting there eating our breakfast and it'd be on. And she used to actually be in the background thinking herself, imagine herself just squashing that little thing and breaking it up because it was so squeaky at that hour of the morning. And it was just like, hey, Marion, like, you know, knock on the little door, like, you know. Do you remember Pob?
Oh, listen, it was on my list too.
Yeah.
The fucking weirdest thing. Like,
it was
like I
much
remember shout out to a far superior podcast to this. Adam Buxton was having a conversation with someone about it, and he was trying to explain.
But they told me Pob.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
It's a wooden puppet wearing a woolly striped jumper with a funny blowjob sort of mouth, and he used to gob on the screen and write his name. It was obviously for deaf kids or something, but
no, it wasn't at all. Like, actually, it was, Joe, it was like, fuck, it was so psychedelic and shit. Like, because it started off with this wooden thing that couldn't move its hands or fingers and all this shit. But like, when you got on, it was like, it was looking as if it was looking in your TV. So the screen was the same shape as your TV. Because he'd go, but bang, 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 and he'd start like going.
Well, maybe it was ahead of its time. Interactive TV.
Was it the third wall or something like that? Fourth wall. Sorry. But he'd bang it on it, and then he'd blow on it, and he'd go, and he'd start trying to spell his name, and he'd be like,
and his fingers were that fucking rigid.
And I'd go, but then,
and this
like,
definitely wasn't my left foot now you're describing.
It could have been. I could have been watching it. It's a wooden my left foot. But it was basically like the adult humor in it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because everything about it was just such like, you know, because even the start intro thing, like, he's wearing like a fucking pilot's hat thing with the goggles and all on it, and all clothes and all are flying at him, and then the bra lands on his head. And like, he's kind of like staring, like, but he takes the socks and all off and he throws them away. But he takes the bra then and he's looking at the bra and he's like, ooh, like, throws it away. But it was just like, the whole show was just like a sandpit. And then the lad who like introduces the show would be there kind of like with these little wooden toys and moving around the sandpit. And it was like, one day it was just like, oh, the cars couldn't go anywhere because they were stuck in the traffic jam. So it opens up a thing of jam and just pours it all over them. It's like, I remember sitting there going like, Jesus, this is pretty gripping. Like, you know what I mean? This is like, you know, how are they getting out of this? Like, you know, because this was on the children's channel. Yeah. And it was the first time having the time where you could actually watch stuff like that, because RT would close and finish at a certain, like, you know, you'd watch it at a certain time in the morning, and then the Mammy and the Daddy shows came on, like, you know. But it was unbelievable because, I used to get slagged when I was younger because I used to row. And like, I was pretty good at rowing, actually. I was about 11, but I was rowing at under 13s, under 14s. And the first race we got into was down in Wicklow, and we came third, and we should have done better, but they'd moved the finish line, so I don't know, the lads were all giving out. I didn't really understand at the time. But one of the guys in the team fell and broke his arm a few weeks later, and they got this other guy in who was like total scobe. And he used to look back at me, and then I remember one day, just like, he comes out of the thing, he goes, every time I look back at him, I just saw this, and I was like skinny with big ears, like, you know, and I was like, and he was like, it was like looking back at Pop. Like, I was like, shut up, you, like, you know. But the lads then all just started calling me Pop. I was like, oh,
I'm out of here.
I know, yeah, like, fuck you, like, you know. But like,
my earliest TV memories are probably on a homeless Saturday night.
A homeless Saturday night?
Yeah, homeless. I was homeless.
He was homeless on a Saturday night, just Saturday night for some reason.
I can't remember what age now, very, very young, but loving Dukes of Hazzard for obvious reasons, because it was aimed at 6-year-olds rather than, you know, adults. But
that's why we'd still watch it now.
Yeah, fucking right. It's about our fucking mentality. But I was only allowed to watch it if I promised I'd have a bath. Oh, alright then. I fucking hated having a bath. But did you have that in your house? I mean,
well, in my house, I would literally, be told, go up, like, run the bath for yourself and jump in. And my mum would go, like, I'll be up in 10 minutes. And, like, it actually took me longer not to have the bath because I'd run upstairs, I'd get water, put it in my hair, do everything else just not to have the bath. Now when my mother got upstairs, I'd be like, no, it's okay, I had the bath. And then she'd be like, open your mouth, did you brush your teeth? And I'd be like, yeah. And then she'd be like, yeah. But I used to put toothpaste around my mouth, like, so that when she goes, let me smell your breath, and you go, show me your teeth. Like, fuck,
The perfect crime.
cornflakes glaring back at her, like, and she's like going, why don't you just brush your teeth, it takes less time and you don't get in trouble, because like, and I was like,
Yeah, but I beat the system. You don't understand.
it's all about beating the system. Like, yeah, cracked into another bottle of this white stuff's pretty good.
Is it? Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah. You brought it back on anything
Yeah, but-
potentially bad you said earlier.
And I did say about the
So if you're listening-
Irish wheat beer, refreshing German style
Yeah.
wheat beer. So
So if you're listening, Wicklow Brewery, we accept donations.
actually, I see on this. So you've got like, where'd you get this? Like, it says your name on it, Barry.
I was going to say a quart, but I think for Christmas, I don't know.
This all buy for you and get engraved.
Yeah,
I just seen Barry there. It's actually like it's gas because.
because that's not my name.
No, but like it's actually the only person that I know that calls you Barry is again my wife Mary. Like and the other day I was saying to Claudia, Claudia,
6-year-old.
yeah, my 6-year-old daughter. Yeah, I said to her, I'm just going in for a quick waz, and she was there going like, what? Where are you going? I said 2 seconds, love. Just going in for a waz, and she goes like, what's that? I said just going for a quick wee. I'll be back in a second. And she goes okay. So then the other day. Like, she turns around and I was there going like, where's mommy, Claudia? And she goes, she's in doing a Barry.
A Barry White.
Exactly, that's what I thought. Like, oh my god. Like, Jesus, keep that down.
She's a genius.
Because I was at the front door, I'm outside talking to the neighbour, like, and I seen her at the door and I was like, Claudia, where's mommy? And she goes, she's in doing a Barry. And I was like, whoa, like, oh, that's a bit much there, like, and the next door neighbour started cracking up, like, and I was there going like, what do you mean, what? And she goes, I said, in doing a Barry, like, as in, she remembers doing a poo, and she goes, no, she's doing a Baz.
Yeah,
Like-
and now she is going to think, oh, you smell like weed. Yeah.
But like, she thought when I said I was going in for a waz, that I said I was going in for a Baz.
Oh, that is class.
As I call you Baz and Mary calls you Barry. So, but just the way little brains
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was there like, I'm going for a
Unlike
Baz. She
our
heard Baz.
massive brains.
Obviously. I was thinking, so, going in for a Barry.
That's brilliant. Okay, so we're completely off topic. That's going to happen, by the way.
crack in,
No, I mean, this is good. This is pub talk.
Nostalgia part, uno,
Yeah,
dos.
so, I mean, we've covered when we were young. I mean, there's some classics. In my house, chips. It
Chips
was,
is classic,
was
yeah.
2 cops on a motorbike. I don't actually know what they did all day, but one
That's why
was...
we were chatting up women.
There's a reason why I like that. The A-Team, standard issue,
Amazing.
fucking most lads, Knight Rider, I mean, what's not to like?
Talking car, like,
I
you know what
mean, Talking Car and David Hasselhoff in a leather
Like,
jacket.
we're in like this century, like, and like we still can't talk to our cars, like,
Well, I talk to it, usually shout at it, and shout at traffic and people in
Everyone
traffic.
else, yeah.
Fraggle Rock, I mean, what a classic.
That was like, that was probably up there with like the
the
ones that everyone will remember.
Yeah, Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock, doing knickknacks on the joints, getting chases. I mean,
The
absolute.
little guys in the walls that like they
Yeah.
went through a little mouse hole or something. They go past the dog, the giant's dog, and they go through a little mouse hole. And there's these lads inside the wall building,
Yeah,
but they never finish anything, and you never see what they're actually building.
they're
It's like-
definitely Irish builders.
that's what I was thinking. I was there like, they're then like on holiday somewhere, like,
So that was when we were young.
yeah.
Yeah, real young. What about when we were kind of
So in my kind of
pre-teen?
Yeah.
Are we talking?
So mine, yeah, because I was talking like when I was thinking, I was there going, was there anything else that I used to like actually want to watch? Because there was so much stuff, because like you'd gone from having nothing to having loads of stuff, like, But I remember there used to be a thing called Nightmare,
Oh, yes.
and it was like,
with a K.
yeah. But it was like, the funny thing about it was like back in medieval time, and that, and there was like the games master guy, and he was like going, oh, contestant number 1, what
So
would you like to
for
do?
people who don't remember it,
Okay, so quick, so if you're trying to, so basically, you get 4 nerds, right? Absolute fucking geeks, like, so we're never getting on that. Right?
Oh no, far too cool.
But so you get 3 of them who are like clever, and they basically have to solve riddles and fucking tell a guy to walk left or right, and then you give the dope of the team a fucking helmet,
Yeah.
like they can't see out of. So he puts that on. So like when he gets home and his mum and dad says to him like, "Oh my God, you're on Nightmare. How was it?" He goes, "I have no idea."
I couldn't see it.
And the helmet on the whole time.
Yeah,
They didn't even put holes in it. So it's like that. Like, you know, this guy had to put a helmet on, and he's walking in. But it was the first time ever seen like.
And sorry, the three other nerds are watching him on a screen.
They've got a TV thing in front of them.
And he's walking through these sort of blue screen rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's getting fed back to them in the worst graphics known to man.
So like there'd be like the floors disappearing or something.
The floor is lava.
Exactly, yeah. And there's one little path that he has to walk, but like he's clearly not there, like, you know, because they think he's flashing and stuff, like, to tell you that he's not there, like,
loading, like
but he's obviously just standing in a room somewhere, like, you know, and he's walking like left and right and all that. But I just remember watching it going like, oh my God, that looks fucking so much fun, like, it looks deadly, and the graphics at that time I thought like, that's unbelievable, like, look at that castle in the background and all, like, and then when I watch it back now I'm like going, that is the worst shit I've ever seen. Like, you could actually do better yourself now.
It's very like when we used to watch that thing Funhouse.
Yeah,
and for those who don't know what Funhouse is, it was a game show in like, it was a kid's absolute dream when you saw it on screen. It was ball pools and slides and go-karts and all this kind of crack. But
the go-kart at the end, you had to do a race.
But it was hosted by Pot Shop.
And the two twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder
that was a pre-teen confusion right there. What's happening to me? Why do I feel so excited right now? But Pat Sharp had the biggest mullet in the world. He was awesome. He just typified the 80s. But going back to what you were saying, when I was watching that, going, I would give anything to be in that funhouse. And looking back now, I mean, it just looks like the shittest fucking play. You know, these play zones the kids go to now.
What you go to nowadays, like,
they're 100 times better.
I'd rather be at their play zones than at that kid.
So,
because like Nightmare, like, did you ever see the one, like, it's on YouTube, you have to look it up, and it's like, as I say, like, usually 4 geeks go on, but they have like, so in this particular one, 3 geeks went on and a fucking dope. And like, but they didn't put the helmet on this dope, right? So he's in, and the lads go, and your man goes through his whole like, today we have 4 new contestants. Jim Bob, whatever his name is in the room, and he has to find a quest. And these young enchanted sorcerers are going to guide his way through this magical place, like, you know. And it big leads into this amazing thing. And then it goes, okay. And the curtains pull across where the screen is. And the first thing is like, talk to your friend. And it's like, okay, Jim Bob, like, you're in this room, like, in front of you there's like tiles. Oh wait, the tiles are falling away. And the man goes like, okay, so don't walk forward. Okay, that's one of the good guys, like the guy who knows what he's talking about. And he goes, and they're starting to fall away to your left. And he goes, left. And then the stupid guy comes around to him and goes, step left, 1 step left. And then the 2 other lads go, no. And your man goes, what? And he goes, step left.
Your other left.
And he just walks. And it was like shit graphics. So he just goes, like, you know, straight off the screen. And then it just goes like, and this picture of a skull comes up, like, you know, the armor breaks off and it just starts with a skull. And the curtains close again. And then your man's like, well, that didn't go well.
Well, your shit.
Exactly. There's this like, and thank you for trying there. Moving on to our next contestant. It's like, imagine watching that back nowadays. Like, imagine if we had been on it and you'd done something like that, like all your life trying to get onto this fucking thing, and the very first thing you say is step left. Are you sure left? Yeah, left. It's like, oh shit.
Did you ever find that some shows, you know, you don't remember exactly what they're about or exactly what was the story with them, but you just knew they freaked you out a little bit?
Oh, there's loads.
Yeah. I have a couple of examples. So, Wurzel Gummidge.
Yeah. Especially when he was able to pull birds and all. Like, he had things living in his stomach and all. Do you remember? Like,
oh yeah.
And like there was birds in his hat and stuff, which weren't too bad. But like every now and again, like he'd pull like a ferret out of his stomach.
I mean, that the fucking state of him.
Yeah.
I think they remade it recently with your man Garrett from The Office. So I'm definitely not watching that.
Not unless I'm really drunk.
The Incredible Hulk, the 80s one. Do you remember when they just painted a fucking muscly guy and gave him this fucking weird wig? But like, the hair used to freak me out. I definitely have a thing about hair, I think.
It wasn't even the Hulk. It wasn't even the big green man. It was the hair.
The hair fucking scared the shit out of me. It was just weird. It was just like mullety fucking thing. And like, I don't know if you've ever seen Superman 3. It's terrible, but there's a bit in it where this fucking woman goes into a computer and the computer eats her up or something, and they spit her back out as this robot thing. And it's not particularly scary, but it freaked me out when I was young. Again, because of the hair. It was just this, I don't know, it was a frizzy mullet, 80s mullet thing, just on a load of like circuit board face. Look it up, it's fucking horrendous. It's very scary. It's the hair again, like. There's a bit of a trend going on here. Yeah, I think the hair thing is definitely something I have to talk to my psychiatrist about. But the other one was like, this is
Carlos' wife.
there was one program or two programs actually that freaked me out. This could be another connection here now. Hairy Monkeys. There was
Hairy Monkeys. What was Hairy Monkeys?
No, there wasn't a program. Hair and monkeys together at last.
The show used to freak me out. It was called Hairy Monkeys. I was like,
you've never heard of it, no?
I could find
I think you might have been in it actually.
Are not all monkeys hairy?
But
except for me. Well, I'm probably hairier than the monkey.
Exactly, and smellier and thicker.
Obviously.
But there was two programs. One was called Monkey with two or three E's at the end, and the other one was called The Monkeys. It was some shit fake
was
band.
It Monkey Magic?
Monkey Magic was the monkey thing, but the other thing was The Monkeys, the band, you know? Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
But one of the lads, I think his name was Mickey or something.
He looked like a monkey.
I know. And that's what I'm trying to say. And look,
the drummer.
Before he was all fucking go mad who haven't seen it, he's a Caucasian American male. He's not, you know. That's, and the other guy, the lad in Monkey, with 3 E's at the end or whatever it was.
Monkey Magic.
He was an Asian guy, but again,
he used to do that.
Yeah, he had his
and his
hair.
cloud would come down and pick him up. I could never get that joke. I have no idea what was ever
completely fucking mental. And the Monkeys was fucking shit. But it's just those two guys. Your man Mickey looked like a fucking monkey, and the monkey looked like a monkey. And I was there going, how can these humans look like monkeys?
Actual monkeys.
So that freaked me out. That was another. But I mean, do I have any others?
They were all on Saturday mornings actually. For some reason, Monkey Magic used to be on Saturday morning, and it was like he used to have like a big stick for spinning around and all that stuff. And then like so it started off like pretty much alright, but then he'd jump on a cloud and he'd end up in like heaven. Like, and he was fighting them people in heaven or whatever was going on up there, like, you know.
Here's one for you, right? Early kind of 90s programs. We're pushing on here now a little bit. Do you remember Grot Bags?
Grot Bags? Was it called Grot Bags?
Yeah. Okay, right.
Name for it.
I imagine calling a woman Grot Bags name.
Yeah.
Fucking slapped straight.
It was a woman's name, was it?
She was a witch.
I do. Yeah.
Green.
Was that her name? Grot Bags.
I know. I was there going, like, I remember, I just saw a flash of the picture and I was there going, I don't remember her being called
at the start, but I always remember the start.
I think she was like, a spin-off from...
What's yours is mine, what's mine's my own. Like, she had like
she was a bitch kind of thing. She had a big mole on her face.
Yeah, it was a cat, but she'd always tell the cat to shut the fuck up, basically, like, you're
proper order, cats are ridiculous. But I think she was a spin-off from Emu and Rod, something like that.
Yeah, she was something like that.
That sort of fucking crack.
So I remember seeing her and that kind of stuff, but yeah... She was the first person I ever heard say, like, you know...
That's your first fancy?
Obviously. She was my first person I had. Grot Bags.
No. First form.
But I remember it was the first person ever say that line, you know, what's yours is mine and what's mine's my own. Like, you know, because she used to do, like, a kind of a rappy thing at the start of it, yeah. I remember that now, because... Actually, that's, like, as soon as you say that, loads of other things are coming into my mind, like Wizadora and all that sort of thing, and fucking Mr. Magica.
But did you ever used to watch Renford Rejects?
That was brilliant. I used to love that.
Well, it was, but like if you watch now, I'm sure it's fucking appalling. Like most things are. But I could never understand this. Why they had the Manic Street Preachers Australia as the theme tune? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. There was nothing at all to do with Australia.
It was just because it was just the way it was written was kind of funny though when you think about it, because they were so shit at playing now. But like they had a manager and they had like you know a guy from Italy playing and all. He was like the best player in the world. They did have a girl playing though. Yeah. So I reckon that's where they went down.
A couple of honourable mentions, right? Quantum Leap.
Oh yeah. That was brilliant.
And what was the name of the little fucking
Ziggy?
Yeah.
And he used to like go. Your man would come up and he'd be like going like, okay, so I'm just gonna talk to Ziggy now. Like, I remember like watching an interview on TV. It was pretty funny because there was two lads in the group and they were like interviewing them, like, oh, hey, so what's your name? And your man goes, Red. And he says to him, like, why's your name Red? And he goes, because I've got red hair. And then he goes to the guy, like, okay, cool. And did they call you it? And he goes, yeah. What did they call you? And he goes, Fred. And he goes, why did they call you Fred? And he goes, because I'm fat and red.
It's brilliant.
That's brilliant. Sorry, go on.
Round the Twist. Did we?
Oh yeah. I used to love that. Was so like, because wasn't it haunted?
Yeah, well, it was real. Always ghosts and shit in it,
Yeah.
but it was a family that lived in a lighthouse from Australia. I mean, what's not to love about that?
Yeah.
And the fucking theme tune, absolute banger,
Flaming
banger.
go out.
Chucklevision was probably should have been in the things that freak me out
Hayward.
section. So yeah, I mean, Saved by the Bell, another classic. I mean,
you can't be.
it goes without saying. I mean, pushing on then, when we started drinking, you started drinking a lot sooner than I did. We're talking kind of when we were 16, 17, 18, that's something. I mean, Eurotrash. I mean, what teenage boy when we were growing up didn't watch? For those who were born in the fucking late 80s or 90s, whatever, and beyond, you just don't know how lucky you have it. I mean,
Oh sure, like just go to your phone.
Go to your
now
phone,
and type
porn
in
at
anything.
fucking at that. But when we were young,
It was like
we were borrowing magazines off each other. Like, dude, those pages are stuck together for something. I don't know why. Borrowing videos off each other, waiting for your whole family to leave the fucking country before you fucking put the thing in the machine.
yeah, if you get caught leaving it.
But
again.
Eurotrash, I mean, when you got a TV in your room, Channel 4 on a Friday night at, was it 11 maybe?
It was even had a different name, didn't it? It was like I can't remember. There's a name. If someone remembers it, obviously tell us. But like there was a different name for Channel 4 beyond a certain time.
Oh,
It had its own name, like you know.
the blue time or
But
something.
they had like Eurotrash. Then they had another thing which was like two claymation figures. They used to just ride the box off each other, like, you know. And it was pretty much. It was called Crapton Street or Crapton Town or something like that, or the Craptons, something like that. But it was on before like all the filth, because
Well, what started on a Friday night on Channel 4, the Word.
and the Hopefuls was on that then as
Oh.
well. Yeah, the Hopefuls was.
The Word, for anyone who doesn't know what that is, was a chaotic live music and chat show, is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it was pretty
but
good, yeah.
they pretty much let maybe 200 or 300 drunk people into a room, into a studio, and then let bands on who are even more drunk and off their heads and whatever else, and they used to play music, and they did have guests on, like pretty famous people, but there's some real famous scenes from it, because it used to get, like, it was carnage, and they used to do the slot in it called I Would Do Anything to Get on TV, the Hopefuls.
The Hopefuls, yeah. It was
And some of the fucking stuff.
Oh man.
Like, there was one where they'd have a line of people, and each week one person would step in front and goes, I do anything to get on TV or whatever. And one of them was, he had a bowl of toenails that he had to eat like a cereal.
He had to pour milk on it as well, so he had to eat with. I remember another one, and it was like this old guy. He didn't brush his teeth or something all day, and they gave him like disgusting things to eat and that. And they'd take his dentures out, and this girl had to lick them clean. Like, so that was her. She stood forward and goes, I will do anything to be a hopeful, like, you know, to get on the.
I think someone had to drink someone else's vomit as well, and
or you couldn't get away with that.
yeah, or a fat lad was running a treadmill and he had to lick his armpit. All this sort of, it was fucking horrendous.
Like
stuff.
even like.
Again, for those who don't know what the fuck Eurotrash is, it was.
It's actually hilarious.
It was the weirdest two combination of presenters: Jean-Paul Gaultier, the perfume guy, and then this other Antoine something or other, some other French
nobody,
guy.
like,
and they used to just report or bring back reports from weird stuff around Europe.
There's one where, like, it was basically the lads had to do this thing where they had to tap metal ponds on the ground to make it sound like rain, and the many they could get out of the ground were earthworms, like, you know, and they had to catch them. And it was a competition, and it was in like somewhere in Germany. But they put all these crazy voices on it, because they'd be like, they'd be like, like talking like some foreign language. But then they'd be like going, well, what's those? It's really hard, man. It's really.
They went some dark places with
Oh,
that.
I
Probably.
know,
There was
yeah.
one where they were reporting this guy. I don't know, obviously Germany or somewhere weird, and he was obsessed with being treated like a baby, and he had like his mot was, or how was the mot? Maybe it was in some L one he used to visit or something. But he wore a nappy and all. He used to get his nappy changed. And he used to like breastfeed off her and all that weird stuff, but they'd still do those fucking ridiculous voices.
Yeah, because it was just the voices were nearly
The voices were
funniest
the best part, but
Like,
you
you weren't having
were
Anne Shandy over
guaranteed
that,
to see at least 25 boobs in it, and unfortunately probably about 30 cocks as well. But
During the interval thing there, I had to go for obviously a slash out there, but
I was.
your cat like came in and pushed its way past me into the jack. So I turned the light on, and the cat pushed its way into the jack. So I was like, okay, so come on, shh. I started clicking at it like a dog first. I was like, and I was like, oh no, they don't respond. So I was like, shh. Then it like meowed at me, and I was like, how'd you get a cat out of a bathroom? Like, you know? So then
The age-old question: how do you get a cat out of a bathroom?
but it jumped up on the litter tray thing, right, you know, and started pissing. And I could hear the noise of the piss. And then I was like, this is really weird. I've never seen a cat actually have a piss before.
Yeah.
But then I could
This
hear
cat,
the,
like,
well, I could hear the,
display
yeah, but then I could hear the noise of the piss, and it made me want to piss more. And then I was like, hurry the fuck up. Like, come on. But then it jumped off, like, and then looks at me and then meows again. And then came out and just walked off, like, you know. But when I got into the bathroom, I was like, oh, but it wasn't even that I need to even go that much walking.
Well,
It was
listen,
just,
next time you have stage fright, I'll just bring that cat along.
and then it was like, when I stopped afterwards, I was thinking, like, did that actually just happen? Like, the cat just fucking bushed by and then made me want to piss more.
Right, you have another segment that we're introducing. Connell is this one. I think we'll call it Connell's contraptions.
And there's lots of them.
Yeah.
I have fucking contraptions for everything.
Anyone who knows Connell here will know that he is a gadget man.
Yeah. So this is American made, and this is called Draft Top.
Okay.
So-
So for those who cannot see what this is, it looks like almost like some sort of credit cardy shape.
Yeah, it looks like thing for cutting the top off cigars on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. And it has a shape at the top to fit the top of a can on.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So-
so basically the
Talk us
idea
through
is,
it there, yeah.
so what you do is you put it on top of the can, pretty much like that. Squeeze it, but don't over squeeze it. If you squeeze this too much, what ends up happening is it won't move because you're holding it too tight. So you want to just kind of
Just
like
like a
push
wheel.
enough so it's holding pretty much. And then when you do it, you keep twisting it till you hear like it cutting, getting hard to kind of twist there, but you can hear it crunching in, right?
Yeah.
So once you got to about there and there's no more
Very
crunch
satisfying
sounds,
sound.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you take it off then. If you rub your finger
Yeah.
on the inside of that,
So basically, what's happened here is he's cut the top off the can, and now it's like it has a smooth rim on the top.
yeah. So let me put a little bit into that there.
Yeah.
So now you can see that the top of the can's completely gone, but the rim around there now is completely smooth.
So where this, I think, would be.
So it's like drinking out of a pint glass.
yeah, at festivals and you know,
if you want then a lady.
drinking in fields and stuff. You basically have a
that's
can. Your can turns into almost like a glass almost.
But that's like, and what I found as well. Like,
You don't want to be drinking out of a can like a pauper.
So what you do is just say to them, well, just pour the other cans into this one now. Just use this as your pint glass. So it means if you've got a 6-pack of beer somewhere but you don't have a glass, this is the perfect thing now because it's perfect for drinking out. Like, it's like, I don't know, anyone that I've opened it for and given it to, after 10 minutes they come back over for another conversation with you and they go, I actually can't drink the can now with just the ring pull.
Yeah.
Because like I've gotten so used, like this is so good, like as in it's exactly like drinking out of a pint.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I
You
mean?
know,
Like
when you're
it's-
drinking out of a little tiny spout, there is a difference. You know, you're trying to get as much liquid out as you can.
And it's going into your mouth.
yeah.
Because it's
yeah. And
like
what's
that.
this called?
It's called Draft Top.
Draft top.
Yeah.
I
But
give that a 8 out of 10.
yeah, definitely. That's what I would have given it as well. I would have given it an 8 out of 10 simply because
I give you a 2 out of 10.
Right.
So that's the kind of
I'm
scale
not
we're
giving
working
you. I'd like to give you a lower, but I'm definitely not giving you a 1.
with. Jesus. Do you have anything from
From Wish,
wish.com?
the wonder of Wish. You know, like blah, blah, blah. But I actually think sometimes it's just going to be called a Wish Wonder because at the end of the day, you have no idea what the fuck's coming in your
And you have
front
no
door.
idea when it's coming either.
There's even days like where like so where I buy most of my wish items is usually sitting on the jacks. Because, like, it's like... And I'd love to know what people do these days. Because, like, years ago, when we didn't have phones, did people used to just take a dump and walk out? Or...
Well, no, I used to either read a comic, an annual, or the back of a toilet duck bottle.
Yeah, reading shampoo and all, like, you know, like, that's what I was thinking. I was there going, like, there was always, like, you know, bogliture there, like, you know, like, the people still have bogliture. Because, like, we used to have books, and there was, like, a little, it obviously covered pipes or something, but it was, like, a little countertop thing that was only that height off the ground. And there was always loads of books, but joke books. Yeah. And joke books were great because you go through them and sometimes magazines. But just sometimes remember some of the jokes and they were good for telling. Like
The Far Side was great for that. They used to have them.
Yeah. Or what we used to always have, because when I moved on then to other people, was like FHM.
Oh, FHM.
But there was the porno likes. Do you remember the porno likes? So the idea was, it was a screenshot taken of a person in a porno who looked like a famous person. And it was like, but you got to vote on how good you thought it was and stuff, like, you know. But the porn likes were brilliant, like, you know, because you go through them, some of them were absolutely amazing. So I'd be like on shout out to Boris Becker or something like that, like but he'd be like, and like you could
wearing the Adidas socks and all.
But nowadays everyone's on their phones, so like usually when I'm sitting on the jacks, like, you know, I'll be fucking Facebook or whatever. Yeah. And then I only get about 2 things down, and then there's always a Wish part.
Yeah.
Wish hijacks my Facebook.
And for those who don't know, Wish.com is a website that sells pretty much everything.
But who doesn't know Wish at this stage? I think everyone either has bought something or knows of Wish. And so they just show you a price and a picture, and there's no description. And you have no idea what it is. Yeah. So you're going like, I fucking no idea what this is. And I'd love to play a game sometime. Do like a fucking... Put up on the screen things from Wish, and people just have to guess either what it is or what it does, and you could actually give people options because they wouldn't have a fucking clue. Because I've tapped on it and it'll come up and be like, I had absolutely no idea that's what that does. They're usually something to do with sex or like bondage or something. But the problem is then when you tap on something on Wish, it has one of these algorithms.
Oh yeah, you get bombarded with the same shit
all the time. Like we were doing like a short movie thing one time, and I bought like. I bought them. They came. They were about that size, like, you know. But there were shoulder pad jokes, like for like bondage. Medieval kind of things, like, you know. And so I got them, bought them, like, you know. But then for about 3 months after, I was bombarded by bondage stuff and the gimp suits and all that. And I was like, going, what the fuck did I buy? Yeah. But
why did you buy all the gimp suits then?
Well, like, you know, who doesn't have a few gimp suits? So it's T-Tox. 60-day extreme detox weight loss. Special weight loss. So the picture on one side is so it's a girl and she has a glass cup on her hand, and she's obviously the after picture because she's drinking her tea, but she's wearing black pants and bra and whatever. She's a kind of an Asian looking bird. And then on the other side, it's a bird with one of those cups, and it says on, like, you know, keep calm, you know, that kind of thing, whatever. I can't read the rest of it, but it's the exact same girl, and it's before and after. But she's wearing the exact same clothes, she's in the exact same archway, but she's like about 500 stone in the other one. But it's just her forearm and all is ridiculous. Like, look, her hairstyle and everything is the exact same. I'm fucking all about the easy stuff, like, you know, 40 days. It's like, you know, the something about Mary thing, you know, where it's like, you know, 3-minute abs. And your man's like, what happens if someone else comes along and does 2-minute abs? Hey, whoa, no one's doing 2-minute abs, man. 3-minute abs.
So there you have it, folks.
So that's this installment of Wish.
But please, like, if you find any random shite, please send them on, because as I say, comment in the YouTube or else email us at contactwafflesoup@gmail.com. Okay, next, this is the final hurrah. This is when you really get shit talking in a pub and people want to get debating. We have the big debate here.
The big debate.
This is highbrow stuff now. Real highbrow. Pound for pound, what is the best takeout?
Right, okay. So, well, it doesn't matter.
Before we start, okay, there has in recent times there's been a lot of new fucking players on the scene. Yeah. Thai food and all this bollocks. That's bullshit. They don't count. We're talking about the 4 heavy hitters here.
So we're going old school.
Yeah, well, to me there's only 4. You might disagree, but to me there's only 4. There's chipper.
Yeah.
There's pizza. Chinese. And Indian.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. No, you're dead right. Because Camille Thai and all that's pretty good and stuff like that,
but
but it's not like your proper old
too
school.
fancy.
Yeah.
Look, I take out and especially when you're pissed and fucking whatever. Even when you're not pissed, when you're just sitting around the gaff, you want something rotten and fucking old school and all the rest of it. What are you going for and why?
It's funny actually now to say, because like I would have gone originally young when we were younger.
Yeah.
We only ever really got either chippers or Chinese. I didn't even know an Indian existed until.
Disclaimer: we grew up in Bray, so
every second shop's either a Chinese, a charity shop, or a Bookies.
Yeah.
So and old school stuff. Sometimes the old school stuff is just as good. Like I was only thinking about this the other day, and I was there going Chinese takeaways. They obviously have some big wholesaler place that they only know about because their chicken balls, no matter where you go, they're always the same. Their chicken is always cut the same way.
Yeah.
Even their sauces, they obviously added in a different way. MSGs everywhere. But
you have to wonder about you look at a Chinese menu and the expanse on it, and you're kind of going,
10 minutes.
How can you have that much shit on your fucking menu and be able to make it within 10 minutes?
Yeah, and it's always the same. No matter because as in if you order from one end of the Bray, take for example, 500 million Chinese shops and the Albert Wok, but basically they have it's the same food because there's very little difference in it, but it's still all good.
Well, I'd argue that Chinese would be probably bottom of the list of the big four there for me because it's illuminous. It's cheap. It's nasty. It's fucking horrible. You never feel great. I don't feel great after it, ever.
I don't think I feel great.
Takeaway.
I don't think I've ever
No.
had a takeaway and said, I feel
amazing.
great.
But it's particularly bad with Chinese, right?
Yeah.
It would be my argument. Plus, I would argue that you don't ever feel massively filled.
Depends.
Unless they give you about 7 bags of free prawn crackers.
Yeah. Which they usually do.
Yeah.
I usually wake up the next
So
morning.
does anyone actually order prawn crackers?
No.
Crackers?
No,
Crackers?
they used to though. People used to always order prawn crackers.
Usually they're just fucked in the bag. So what do we put next? I would probably put pizza next.
Pizza
is the best thing
but it's
on
the easiest.
earth. But this is the thing. It's so fucking easy to make, but so many fucking places wreck it.
I wake up in the middle of the night after having a pizza, absolutely dying of the thirst. And if I don't have water near me somewhere, you know what I mean.
Well, that's probably down to the extras you get with it.
But I'm so lazy. I'm the kind of person that wake up and need a wee.
Yeah.
I'll lose a good half hour's sleep because I won't just get out and have the wee real quick and jump back in. And
you'll think about it for fucking 45 minutes.
And I'm there going, oh my god, just go for the wee. Kind of
you start dreaming about having the wee. Same with drinking the water.
Exactly. Yeah. And then sometimes you go in and it's I'm gonna keep my eyes a little bit shut because I don't want to wake up too much.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't want to wreck the sleep.
Yeah.
And you go in and you do the piss and you're like, I haven't opened my eyes yet. Brilliant. You go then you wake up the next day. You're gonna eat your breakfast. I still haven't opened my eyes yet.
Into work.
Then you drive the car.
Didn't wake up the whole day.
But so pizza. But the thing is, you can go to these fucking wood-fired oven pizza and they're fucking unbelievable. They're delicious.
Yeah, they go cold too quick.
That's one complaint. The second complaint is
you can't get one of those delivered to your
house.
You
can't get a fucking 85-inch one of them though. They cannot.
Do you like it?
But you bet your ass I do.
Yeah, but
you can only fit. So I end up having to buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
Which is never a good thing. And they're great and all, but at the same time, you feel like it's something you could do at home.
Oh no! Do you know what? Actually, I built my own pizza oven because I'm always into building crap.
Yeah.
And I built the thing for I'd say I spent probably €80 on building it now, and I done watched a few.
How many chimneys does it have?
3.
Yeah.
It looks like Sputnik. It looks like something that went into space.
Go faster stripes inside.
Obviously. Actually, if you throw too much wood in it to start, the flames come out the chimneys, which make it look like a hot rod sitting there, But you make those and you throw them in, and they come out just as good as the stuff.
All right, so we're putting pizza number 3 because we're moving on to, I would say, maybe I disagree, Indian number 2.
Indian food.
I adore Indian food. It's just unbelievable. It just, but the thing is with it, it's the fucking aftermath, day after.
Oh yeah, but sure, look.
When you drink too much Guinness and you're shitting through your ears and all,
But I'd never blame Guinness for that.
No.
Like,
I
I'm going mad the next
yeah,
day.
going, the good times are worth it.
Yeah.
And it's probably the same in the Indian, but literally Japanese flag arsehole, the whole lot. Like, I mean, I think the last time I had an Indian must have had 6 shites in one day. I mean, that can't be fucking natural.
Well, there's days that, like, I had
Maybe
one
you need a
day
spring clean every day.
and it actually smells the exact same as the food. So we go to this place and it's tikka masala, and it's really, really good. But the problem with the so like the two of us get the same. It's like we don't even like. It's like, what are you getting? Tikka masala.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
I love that. Yeah, still always ask the question. Even though you're just going to say the same fucking thing.
Well, we got it one night, and I'm chomping away there. Mary starts going, I'm eating the next. She's and she starts pulling out of her mouth this thing, right? I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I thought it was like a bay leaf or something, but it was a clump of hair.
Ugh.
But not just like a few strands. It was like as if someone had gotten the hairbrush, taken all the hair out of the braid brush, went to throw it somewhere, done something with it, but it fell into the pot. They served it up, and that came to our door.
You ordered a hairy Indian.
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty good. But so we were sitting there, and we were horrified. Obviously, Mary couldn't eat the rest of her food, and I was there.
You
like,
ate?
yeah, that was like fucking. I had around it. But a few weeks later, we'd obviously said we're never going there ever again. We'd gone to a few different places, and actually, Mary said to me, "I know it sounds really weird, but I'd love a tikka masala." And I said, "Are we going to say that place though?" And she was there going, "I think I will." And like, we still go from there, like, you know, even though she got bitten there, and like, we should have probably said something. We might have got something free, like, you know, but we just didn't bother because, like, it was just at the time it was pretty late and all that. And it was just like, but like, I was there going, that's a good testament to somewhere that you found a hairball.
Yeah. Okay.
In
Well,
your
look.
food to still go back.
On that note, you've convinced me. Hair and all. I'm gonna switch. I had chipper at number 1, but I'm gonna put it at number Indian at number 1.
Indian number 1, but if it depends, you see, if you're in
if
a
you're
pub,
drunk, if you're sober and all,
like chipper, you can't be like a greasy
I'm
bag
about
of
a general, like, you know, whether you're drunk, sober.
it has to
just
be
over.
I think so. I think at the moment.
Well, that's what we've decided upon. Indian is the best pound for pound takeout. But if you guys have any comments on that, or if you agree, let us know. Comment below or email us at
Smash that button.
contact@wafflesoup@gmail.com. And to wrap it up,
Whiskey fucking tastings
Tastings
and
and
all that kind of shit. So, whiskey number 1, we're looking at the yellow spot. It's out of his buska there. So again, pretty good.
like pub.
It's made from Pob's remains. Yeah, that smells pretty good.
That's a good start. Cool.
Moan hay.
Oh, it's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, moan hay, cracked black pepper, red bell peppers, nutmeg, clove oil, and green tea. Sweet honey and peaches from a Malaga cask. Okay, and
That's all that's on the nose.
so that's literally everything on the nose. But how are you meant to?
A Mauni what?
So so the first one's a moan hay.
Moan hay, right?
Moan
I don't know
hay.
what
So
the fuck
I'd
that
say,
is.
does that sound like moan hay, or as in?
Mauni hay.
Oh yeah, a
Hay
moan
that
hay.
moans a lot.
Moan hay. So it's not like mowed hay, as in someone's cutting the grass, is it? Like, cracked black pepper, red bell peppers, nutmeg, clove oil, green tea, sweet honey, peaches from Malaga cask. I don't even know what like what Malaga casks is, like, you know. So, yeah,
They're talking shite now. They
That's
really
a-
are just making
yeah,
up
like, because
stuff.
there's 3 different things. Then it has, like, you know, a taste. So this one says honey sweetness with pot stilled spices, flavors of fresh coffee,
Alright, okay.
creamy milk chocolate, and creme brulee. Notes
brulee.
of red apples and tossed oak. So I need to get this the fucking.
Yeah,
So I like the smell of it. Okay.
that is quite sweet.
Hmm.
That's like a dessert.
So the smell is alright. It's not
Just
gonna.
get the Mauni hay out of it.
I finished then. So to finish, it says a sophisticated and complex sweetened trout with a mix of red, grape, and dry barley upon exit. So that's in the morning when you do poo.
Okay. When you do a Baz.
Yeah, when you go for a berry. So what I always find with whiskey as well is that your first one is, what I like to do is, it's your greeting, as in, is it offensive? And then if it's non-offensive, then you give it a few seconds, you're chatting. Your second one.
I'm surprised I let you into my house then. That's the case.
I'm so offensive. But the next one should be so much easier. You know what I mean? Because it's already done all the burning.
Yeah.
Like, it's already done the harshness.
Oh, it is just delightful stuff, isn't it?
That's really good. So, ladies and gentlefolk,
Yeah.
that's yellow spot.
Well, I'm going to spend the week finding out what a Mountie Hay is. Well, cheers, hombre.
Cheers.
And on that note, we will bid you adieu. As we said, any comments, totally welcome. We want to hear your feedback. We want to know what you want us to waffle about. That's what it's all about. We are the Wafflers.
Yeah.
This is Waffle Soup.
Yeah.
And goodbye for now.
Like my dad said to me the first time I was going to a disco, wrap it up.